did an unveiling of comic books, and then we actually talked, which is actually one of my picks for the comic book I'm very excited for coming out next week. But we also talked about Justice League 71.
I heard you guys talking a little bit about that, so we'll definitely get into the picks. And since we're on this right now, Kristin, let's go ahead and get the show started.
Yay!
What's going on, everyone? Thanks to everyone who's watching the show right here. This is Eman's top 3 new comic book picks, and this is going to be for September. What the hell? February.
Why are you living in the future right now? It's not September.
That's where my mind went. That's exactly where my mind went. This is going to be for February 16th, 2022. Along with me is one of my good friends, Kristin from the Foul Mouth Nerds. Kristin, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. It is, in fact, September.
Over there, yeah. So we're in the future.
We're in the future.
In the future, that's what's going on.
In the future.
Now, for anyone who watches this show, I've actually had Kristin's husband on my show last year. I was gonna say James Ryan from the Foul Mouth Nerds. He would join me last year, and honestly, if it wasn't for Ryan, I probably would not have continued on with one of the books that he ended up talking about. It was a huge book too, Mega. It was a big book. I almost fell off it, but if it wasn't for Ryan, I kind of kept going. So I was like, all right, he loved it. He loved the artist. That's why he kept going with it. So I was like, all right, you know what? Because you said, I'll go ahead and continue on. There he is.
There he is.
Hi. Hey there, big guy.
he goes, hey there, big guy. We're talking about you right now. No, if it wasn't for Ryan, Ryan keeps me in with the whole comic books, and honestly, we've been getting into a lot of indie comic books, which they've been actually really good.
I know you two are big DC fans, and I know Ryan was dipping into indies for a bit. So hearing you also catching the indie book, I love it because I'm like mostly indie myself.
Well, you've read the Me You Love in the Dark, right?
Oh yeah, that one was really crazy. I was like, oh, we're going there. Is this where
dude? Oh my god! We binge read it, and I was like, the last issue, I was like, what just happened?
It was almost heartbreaking. Really, it was almost heartbreaking.
It was really heartbreaking, but the fact where he goes, see, he's not asleep anymore. I was like,
yeah.
Oh my god!
You can't be fucking around with this guy anymore. We gotta get rid of this guy now.
Ooh, so we gotta leave right now, and I don't know how to do it. So
I need to go buy cigarettes. I'll be right back. She's all trying to dip. I was like, whoa, why are you leaving? I'm like, whoa, calm down, homie, calm down.
Yeah, no, we've been getting into a lot of indie comics, which indie comics don't get enough credit. Which one of my picks for tonight, well, actually 2 of my picks for tonight is indie comics.
Well, since you said that, Kristin, we're going to start with you. You're going to be the first one, so we're going to talk about your number 1 pick. Now, to everyone that's watching, these are in no particular order. We're not saying that these are our top 1, 2, and 3. It's in no particular order. These are just the top 3 books that we're really excited for this coming new comic book day. So we're going to start with you. Yeah. Kristin, what is the very first one that you want to bring up?
So the very first one that I want to bring up is called Stilling Oz. And the first thing that caught me was the cover. And the cover is the Yellow Brick Road, but it looks like more of a pyramid. And it looks like you have the Tin Man at the bottom who's drinking some 40s, having a good time. Then you got the Cowardly Lion who's muscle man, kissing his muscles and everything. Then you got the Scarecrow on the laptop, which, he's the tech nerd. And then at the top it has to be Dorothy, and she's sitting on a bag of money.
This was hilarious when you mentioned that to me. I was like, let me look this up. Let me read the synopsis of this one right here, because it is funny. So this is Stealing Oz #1, written by Jeff Munson, art from Stephen Coughlin. Dorothy, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow embark on a life of crime in our world, and it can only be stopped by the ones who know them best. The Tin Man and TikTok. Part Point Break, part The Godfather, mashed up with the Wizard of Oz. Magic and mayhem collide to create the perfect crime. When you said this, I was like...
You can't tell me that this is not going to be a good series. I mean, you have like so many elements of just like what the fuck's happening, and then oh my god, this is going to be so amazing. A lot of the times when you go through the League of Comic Geeks, you know, you see the top like comics towards the top. They're all like the Marvels and the big ones. You have to dig deep to be able to find it. And this was literally at the bottom of the list. It was like it was like the third from the bottom.
Yes. When I looked at it and I read it, I was like, oh, dude, this is going to be fun. There's the burp. There's the world famous burp right there. So if you guys watch the Foul Mouth Nerds right there, Kristin and her husband Ryan, they would drink beer, and it's just very gargly.
I was being kind because this is your show, and I was not trying to burp. Don't laugh at me. He's laughing at me.
Right back there. I fully expected it from you tonight. I'm glad that it came out this early. I love it. Honestly, anyone who watches whenever they try their beers, so the Foul Mouth Nerds, they will review beers and comics, and midway through, Kristin's just... Forget all you guys who think you can burp. This is a goddess of burps right here. I can't compete.
You're making me blush. But yes, Ryan keeps on telling me that I have to enter in a competition for money because I would trump any man.
She will, dudes. She will. Sorry. Give me a big 325-pounder. I'm over here drinking my Budweiser. This little girl can't take me. She will destroy you and your asshole, dude. No. Don't try. That's I'm telling you now. I've seen it. It's freaking amazing.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate the compliment. But back to Stealing Oz.
Exactly. That's what we're talking. Comics. That's what we're talking about.
We're talking comics. No, I saw this and I thought, man, this is just gonna be so good. But you know what's funny is it says like a Point Break / Godfather. To me, it gave me kind of like a Reservoir Dogs with Pulp Fiction kind of vibes.
Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that based off based off the read itself.
Off the read and the cover. Like it gave me Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, but then again, I love Quentin Tarantino and I love, Samuel L. Jackson. So
now, I don't want to say judging by the cover, but judging by the cover, it looks like it's got like a Johnny Bravo type art style to it too. So I can't wait.
I'm pretty.
I was not even looking at this book at all until you mentioned it, and now I'm definitely going to try to look for this one right here. So the Cowardly Lion does look like a Johnny Bravo type. Right.
Man, I'm pretty.
Right. With him flexing his muscles like that. And don't even worry about it because I'll make sure that people see the cover. I make sure that the covers pop up during the synopsis, so they'll know.
And it's really good. And of course, this is going to be on our poll box because I saw this. I'm like, and I love it because it says, follow the yellow brick road to a world where magic and mayhem collide to create the perfect crime. Yeah. And it says that on the cover, and I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. All right, well, let me get into my number one pick here. Let me talk about my one pick here. So Have you read A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance?
No, I have not.
So
what is that?
It's a trippy book in a sense that it's not wordy, but it's definitely telling a story of this Asian guy who happens to show up at someone's house to find out that they're dead. And now there's kind of like a hitman involved, and you're not really sure what his place is. You're wondering, is he a hitman? Is he not a hitman? What is going on with this? However, he ends up running into this house, and it was almost by accident, another hitman shows up at this house, and you're not really sure what exactly is going on. Like, is he supposed to kill this person that he's showing up to? And then he tries to defend her, and it's really crazy. The first 4 issues are very not wordy. However,
so there's like a lot of panels, like a lot of action panels.
A lot of panels, but not a lot of words. But it tells you a story of this guy named Sonny. So we're up to, in the last issue, he shows up at this lady's house, and you see a hitman trying to go after her, and Sonny ends up taking her, like, no, I'm going to take you out of here. You can't be in this situation. He takes her in her car, and she's like, I need to go back. My son's still there. They're like, oh shit. So they go back, and the hitman ends up waking up, and that like ended that issue. So now we're in issue number 5, and that's one of my picks for this week is A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance number 5, written by Rick Remender, art from Andrea Lima Araujo. Simple synopsis, just like the book itself. Sonny tries to protect Neva and Xavier at all costs. Neva, of course, is the lady that he took away from her apartment to try to save her, but now they went back to get her son, and that's who Xavier is. This book is quite simple, but yet it raises so many questions, and I'm still trying to figure out who Sonny is.
I'm pulling it up so I can see it as well, like as you're talking. I found it, so awesome.
Oh, you found it. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I wanted to follow you, so I found it.
The League of Comic Geeks is what we use, but yeah, that book is really crazy, and it's simple. Go ahead.
Why is that looking like Wong from Doctor Strange?
You were right. He does look like Sonny looks like Wong. You are
from Doctor Strange, right? He looks like I don't know if that's like politically correct, but he looks like Wong from Doctor Strange.
Like an actor in real life. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. I'm half Asian.
You know what?
Get the pass. You're okay.
You know what? I think that's flattery. Because they're using him as a comic book character. So I consider that flattery. I'm like going over it while you're speaking about it just so that I can be on the same page with you. But the artwork looks really good. Like it looks really good. It looks nicely drawn.
Yeah, it's real simple too, which is sometimes you just don't need the flash. You don't need something that's big and booming. Sometimes you just need something minimalistic, and it tells you enough of a story, and that's kind of how it goes at this one. So
and a lot of things that words you don't need. Actions can speak very loudly, and that like how you were saying, there's not a lot of words. Most of the panels are like actions and movements. And with some comic books, you feel the actions, you feel what you see. So I honestly like that more than I like, where there's like all this page is like word. Yeah. I like feeling what they're feeling and seeing what their like actions and feelings. So that's pretty cool. No, like I do like the covers. Like I'm looking at all the covers. They look really good. I love like the brightness of the colors of the covers as well. Like you got the pinks, you got the blues, you got the greens, you got the yellows. Like it's
almost like setting the mood.
It is, and it sets the mood of how you're gonna feel when you read the book.
Yep.
Honestly,
yep.
And it grabs me that way.
Gotcha. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good pick.
All right, Miss Kristin, I want to throw it back to you. go ahead and let's talk about your second pick. What is your second pick for New Comic Book Day, February 16th? Not September, February 16th, 2022.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not September? Because I'm still living in September, man. You know, like wake me up when September ends. All right. So my next pick, it's called Bad Wraith, issue number 1. Mm-hmm. And I saw this because me and my husband, we're skaters. Like, we used to skateboard, you know, back in our young days. And I saw the cover. It's from Black Cavern. Mm-hmm. And it looks like it's going to be a horror comic, which, you know, I'm okay with that. And it's a zombie skateboarding on what looks like an evil Mike Wazowski skateboard.
I saw the cover for this like not too long ago. I'm like, okay.
So I like things like this. Like I do like kind of the horror-esque kind of things. And well, I'm more of a gore person. I love gore. Mm-hmm. And I just saw this. I was like, oh man, like this is actually a cool cover. Like, let's see what it's about. And it said, Red Wrath is a story of a young skateboarder named Gome who falls victim to a prank gone wrong and dies at the bottom of a half pipe. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. And it says, what his killers don't know is that this half pipe was built on a cursed land. What does that remind you of? Poltergeist. Yep. And now that curse is coming for them this February, it's time to skate or die. And I'm like,
oh god, so cheesy.
Dude. Okay, so it's cheesy. And honestly, like, I love anything that's skateboarding. Right now, Ryan and I, we love this show called Skate the Infinity. It's an anime. And it's I don't know if you heard of it. Skate the Infinity.
I've heard of it. My daughter is really big into anime, and
so is my son.
Yes, she's like, you skate to infinity. I think she drew like one of the characters as.
So Ryan's actually he just got a big canvas because I don't know if you saw, he finished my tank girl painting, and he actually got a big one, and he's gonna do Langa and Reki from Skate the Infinity. And he's going to draw this on this huge canvas that he got because we just absolutely love it. Like anything with skateboarding, like my husband used to skateboard constantly. Mm-hmm. We have our skateboards in our room, and I saw this and I'm like, oh my God, it's like, oh God, what is it? It's like Poltergeist meets skateboarding meets like funny gore weird. Like I saw this and I was like, oh my God, this is like the best thing I've ever seen.
It looks like some, because I used to skate too. Matter of fact, like I just recently bought a skateboard myself, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. I'm 44. I'm not in the best shape in the world. I just bought a skateboard, but I bought it so that way like I can go skating with my daughter and with my stepson too. Yeah. Like, come on, you guys, let's go skate, you know. And I literally just bought one like within the last month, so that way we can go out and skate. Yeah, I used to skate back in the day myself.
No shame from us. Like we are 32, 36-year-olds. Like, well, I'm young. His knees are kind of messed up because the fact that he skated so much when he was a kid, and our son is like, Mom, can I go outside and skateboard? I'm like, yes, go, bye. Bye.
Yes.
I mean, my skateboard kind of looks like the dude on the cover, but she's purple, zombie, pregnant, smoking a cigarette, and her name's Skidmark Stephanie. True story. Yeah, her name's Skidmark Stephanie, and she is a purple pregnant zombie smoking a cigarette. She's white trash too. That's my skateboard, and the grip is actually A New Hope, Star Wars.
Oh shit! Yeah. Right. Yes. Good job on that one. This book looks fun. Like you've chosen two fun-looking books for sure. Black Caravan right now, they're right up your alley because they're going in that gore. They're going into that horror type genre. And I picked up a couple of their books, and it's They're actually, I think, in my opinion, Black Carrie-Anne's kind of underrated. Like, you know, if you're a big horror fan, if you're a big,
it really is.
They are, yes.
But what's really sad is the fact that, you know, there's a lot of people when they go to comic books, they want, you know, the big names. Yeah. They don't want to see the indie. They want to see, like, I want Marvel, I want DC, I want Thor, I want Captain America, I want Batman, I want Superman. It's like, well, you know, indie comics, even though I bet you anything, this is going to be like how the Me You Love in the Dark. It's only going to be 5 issues or like 6 issues because honestly, that's their funding. They only have enough to make those many issues. But the thing is when you get those issues, they are amazing. The story, the story, the artwork, how it makes you feel. So we, like I said, we've been getting into a lot of indie comics, and I give my picks mostly to indie comics because they are so underrated and they deserve more spotlight.
Yeah. Now, comic book fans, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's been around for quite a while. There's going to be people who are going to hold on to the traditional, which is fine.
Oh,
it's
of course.
You know, hold on to those golden age comic, you know, heroes and villains, because they're the ones that are going to continue to pave the way forward for other comics to come through. Because in the beginning, there it is again.
I'm really trying not to do it on the show. I'm so sorry.
No. Again, I was expecting it.
I know. I'm trying to be very respectful because this isn't my show. If it's my show, I'm like, what's up?
It comes out too. It's crazy. But yeah, and that's how I am too. I like the indies. I like the indies a lot, you know, because and a lot of the times it's because like I can start a story, from beginning to end, and be able to be a part of that story and before moving on to another one. Whereas like with the Spider-Man, with the Captain America, there's so much
the Justice League. Yeah, there's so much.
It's like I can't catch up. I feel like it's past my time.
And it sucks when you have like those ones that are so popular and then like you pick one up, it says, oh, see this issue for recap, and you're like, I don't have that issue. Like and the one thing I do love, because I do collect them, is my Harley Quinns. My Harley Quinns, when they do that, it's, you know, the issue before. It's not like, see, this is issue 76, and oh, see, issue 53 for recap, and you're like, what? I don't know. I don't understand what's happening right now. But
it makes you go back so far back, and you're like, I'm so cool.
Well, the thing is unless you collect it religiously, you lose interest, and that's what kind of sucks. That's why I do like the indie stories where it's like a 5 or 6 issue run, because you know what, they give me good quality content, and I love it.
Yep. Real fast, real chill.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. I love it. That's actually a really good pick. I'm digging it. Let me get into my
what is your second pick? Let me hear that.
This is going to be a total, I'm going to tell everyone right now, this is going to be a total indie episode. I don't think that there is a big two. There's no DC Marvel in here. However, all of mine are actually Image. So it's not indie. It's like mid-heavy, mid kind of up there. But it's
Image
not
is so good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with this one right here. The first 5 issues of this were fantastic. I love this team as it is. I fell in love with this team from Gideon Falls. So this is the team of writer Jeff Lemire and artist Andrea Sorrentino. I loved Gideon Falls so much, I ended up giving that like my book of the year, like in 2019, I think, on the C-List Villains podcast. I think I gave Jeff Lemire like my favorite writer back then. So I'm going to continue that right there with this right here. And I'm talking about Primordial number 6. Have you read anything about Primordial, Kristin?
No, I haven't. Hold on, I'm trying to find it right now so that I can be on the same page as you.
Don't worry about it. I got you covered. I'll let you know. So Primordial is about 3 animals that were launched into space in the 60s during the space program. You know, back in the day, they were doing all these
poor animals.
and yeah, you know, they were thrown into space. You have a monkey, you have a dog, I think you have a cat. They were thrown up in there, and it's like, all right, what's going to happen to these animals? But in this comic, it's showing you that there was still communication to be made with the animals. So in the 60s, they were shot up. You're finding out that the animals are starting to communicate with each other in the language that they understand. Fast forward to, I want to say 2024, 2026, like in the near future. And now Earth is now getting a signal back from these animals. So now we're finding out that these animals are still alive. There's something going on up there in space, and something kept them alive this whole time. And we're about to find out what's happening, because at the end of the last issue, you end up seeing Earth, or wherever they're about to land. I think it's in Russia. They're attacking their spaceship that they came in, because they don't understand what's going on. But there's this one lady who's like, no, like these are my friends. Like these people, these things are legit. Like, I'm glad that they're back. You're still trying to figure out what's going on, why those animals were up there for so long, and why they were alive for so long, and how they can come back and still send out a beacon. So with this one right here, Primordial number 6, this is the mini series finale, the mind-bending conclusion to the exhilarating new series by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. Our animal astronauts make a final attempt to return to Earth as their allies on the ground fight desperately to guide them home. That's the lady that's like, no, these are my friends. They're on their way back. And we're going to find out why they were up there. We're going to find out why.
So you have no idea why they're up there. I pulled it up, so I'm looking at it, and I see the sickle and hammer in Russia.
Yeah.
I love the cover. So it looks like a dog and just like a little lemur.
Yeah. Ape, dog, and I think it was a lemur.
It looks like a lemur. The art is very realistic.
Fantastic. Just letting you know, like, if there's one book that I would recommend you picking up, if you can go back, it shouldn't be too hard to find. It's not like one of those books that people are chasing, but it's definitely one of those books that people should be reading. Go pick up Primordial 1 through 5, and actually, if you can't, pick up 1 through 6. Just pick up the whole series. It's gonna come out in trade, so if you want to wait for the trade, go for it. But the art is absolutely fantastic.
Well,
it's beautiful.
Well, I'm going because you have the option to look back on previous issues, and just the covers of the actual comic books are absolutely amazing. They're gorgeous. Like how, like, you see the realistic of the animals plus the art style.
Yeah.
And I find it gorgeous, and I find it like so beautiful. And it sounds interesting. Like, who sends a damn lemur, monkey, and dog into space?
Well, this originally happened in the 60s, right? When the space programs between Russia and the US were starting off for real. They actually shot up. They actually used real animals.
The fucking 60s, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking,
but they gave us a lot of the things that we do have now. So it's like, there's a lot of sacrifices and a lot of things that we shake our finger at. But back then it was kind of like, no, these are just animals. What are you talking about? But now they're animals. I gotta protect them.
How dare you do those to the animals?
Exactly.
No, they did some groundbreaking work back then. But just looking at the work, and I'm just kind of reading the synopsis of every issue. It just looks amazing. Like, that is a really good pick. Like, that's something that I would honestly go ask our friend who owns a comic book store, be like, hey, can I get this, please? And I know he'll find it. He finds me my Tank Girls when they don't sell them. But he finds them for me.
I know. By the way, you guys, she's a huge Tank Girl. Huge Tank Girl fan. I was going to say, show the tattoo. Now, which version is that? From which comic and which era? Because Tank Girl's kind of gone over like different decades.
So this is more 2010s Tank Girl. More of like, so the past few years, they're they've been doing 4 stories, and then they had 4 issues. It's called King Tank Girl. 4 issue World War Tank Girl. 4 issues, 4 issues, 4 issues. So this is about a 2010s Tank Girl, and when I used to have purple hair, her hair was originally blue, and I turned it purple because I wanted her to represent me more.
There you go.
And I still have to get Jet, then Booga, then I'm gonna get Pow, and then the tank right here.
You have 1 down. There's 4 more to go. I think you got this. You got this.
This is gonna hurt.
It will. No, I think when it's inside, when it's right here, I think that's gonna hurt the most.
This actually hurt pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was very tender, and then this going down into my armpit, and I was like, oh. But I think the one behind it's Ariel. You can't really tell, but that's Ariel. That one.
That one hurt.
There it is. Ariel. That one hurt.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, no. Tattoos hurt, but I like them. And what sucks is with my job, I can't get more on my, here up. I can't get any more, even though I have these. I have to cover my arms like this.
Gotcha. And then you live in Vegas, so it's a young spread on like all those warm days. I'm sure it's.
But you know what's funny is in Vegas, you would think people wouldn't give a shit anymore, but apparently some people are still old-fashioned and find tattoos offensive, and I'm just like, y'all.
You're in Vegas. You're in Vegas. Like, come on.
Suck a butt. Suck a butt. That's how I'm saying. But no, I think your second pick was really good. That's something that I would really like to get.
You should also check out Gideon Falls. There was a hardback that came out recently, and I think it's like $50 or $60. Look for that.
Gideon Falls.
Falls. It's the same team. It's Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino, so it's the same art, same writing style. And that one's a little bit more. It's more catered to like horror fan base.
Nice.
It's really creepy. That one's really creepy. That was like.
I know we have one that is Geiger. That's yeah. I have a whole
I'm gonna show you. This is gonna go on my new comic book day pick video, but I ended up picking it. Oh, where is it? No. Where's my books? I think I left them inside. I think I left them inside. But I just.
Hey, you want to hear something funny?
I just picked up the 80-page Geiger. What's up?
You want to hear something funny? Is you have the same gaming chair that I got my son. Yep. It's the same exact one and the same color.
GTR. This was just like 100. I think I wanted like my company, because everyone started working from home. My company's like, go ahead and buy yourself a chair. I was like,
does it have a footrest?
No, this one doesn't.
Okay, so his has a footrest, but the thing is I didn't pay for a dime for it because one of my old managers quit and left it in his office and then told the regionals, yeah, give it to Kristin, it's fine.
Nice. So you came up on a gaming chair.
Oh yeah, it's in my son's room while he games.
Of course, that's where it's supposed to be.
Well, I don't want it.
It works for situations like this, like when you're podcasting or when you're gaming. These are almost perfect for that.
True story, bro. But I actually have my last pick, and I am not doing indie. I am actually going mainstream. So it is Justice League 72, because I did read Justice League 71 and it was so riveting. Like, even though I don't really read Justice League, but Ryan said you have to read this. It's actually really good. So I read it and I was like, fuck, actually this is really good. Like, just the story, even though it's 2 stories in one in 71.
Oh.
So yeah, so I decided to pick Justice League 72 because it's a continuance of what I already read. And I'm actually pretty excited to see how the story continues.
Nice. Yep, that's right. You're breaking it. This is one of the big two right here.
Hey, but you know what? My first two, I made my first two important because it was indie.
They're ultra indie too. That's crazy. You said Justice League number 72, written by Brian Michael Bendis, arts from Emanuela Lupacchino. You know what? I'm gonna let you take this one right here because this is interesting, and I want to know what your take is. So what is this one about right here?
So this is the Royal Flush Gang has hatched one of the most elaborate plans in the history of the DC universe, basically, and now we know that all of it was a prelude to a crime of the crime of this and maybe even the next century. What in the multiverse could the Royal Flush Gang be after? How does it connect to Black Adam's trial? And if you haven't read 71, I'm sorry, spoilers. But here, see, 71. Hi, see, beautiful. So in basically 71, the Royal Flush Gang, they attacked the Justice League. Now the Jack has no recollection of attacking the Justice League. And Green Arrow is basically freaking brutal. Like, he is brutal in this because he wants to know what the hell's going on. Of course, Black Adam is just brutal in his own ways, and they brought him on into the Justice League. So they're questioning the Jack, which is part of the Royal Flush Gang. Questioning the Jack, like, why'd you attack us? He goes, I don't know what's going on. I swear to God, I don't know what's going on. If you want a recap of everything we talked about, check out the Foul Mouth Nerds. We did talk about this on our previous episode. Sorry.
Shameless plug, but it's okay. That's what we're all here for. I love it. It's good.
But I don't want to give away too much if you haven't read it, because we did, talk about it on our show. But basically, they're trying to figure out what's going on. Green Arrow is so on the hunt of what the Royal Flush Gang is actually doing. And then at the end of this, there's betrayal. And it's a betrayal that you're just like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't see it at first, and then I was like, Ryan, is that who I think it is? He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh.
Dun dun dun. Oh,
and
snap.
it's somebody that Green Arrow is very close with.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in my head now. Okay.
So,
oh man.
So there's a lot, and also the other half of this issue is a Justice League Dark, and it talks about honey, who does it talk about? I forgot. What's his name? The current Dr. Fate. Sorry.
It's all right. You used the lifeline. He was right behind you, and it works. I'll allow it.
I need my husband sometimes. I picked this because of how it ended. I want to see what actually happened with the Royal Flush Gang and what happened with betrayal. Because Black Adam told the Justice League, you brought me on this team for a reason. And he's ruthless. He is. So I want to see how everything unfolds and plays out. It's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It sounds like it. It sounds like there's a lot going on with this one right here. Justice League number 72, and it's 2 stories. Is this like the norm now with a lot of the DC books where there's 2 stories? So
I think only 71 was 2 stories. I don't think Justice League 72 is 2 stories. I think what they did is they put 2 stories in one, so then they can merge off to their own thing, because I feel like they didn't have a lot of content at the time, and they wanted to see how it grasped people.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
That's just my opinion. But from what I see from Justice League 72, it's just going to go off the first story. So it's going to go off with the Royal Flush Gang, and I feel like they're going to do something else with the new Dr. Fate.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Justice League number 72. This is Kristin's number 3 pick.
Last pick.
All right, let me get into my final pick here. We're gonna stick with Image right here, and I've stuck by this book since the beginning. I found it super entertaining. It's 90s. It's punk. It's a haunted house. And what ends up happening now is the haunted house has all these other haunted poltergeists in it, and now this haunted house turned into this big fighting house, and now the government has their own fighting monster that's full of like all these radiated goblins, not goblins, but ghosts from like the Nevada area. And it's such a huge, like, fantastical type of book, but it revolves around like a punk band from the 90s. This book right here is called Homesick Pilots. This is number 12, written by Dan Waters and arts from Casper Wingard.
Hold on. Are you telling me there is a comic book that has monsters, punk rock, haunted crap, government, and craziness, and I don't know about this?
You should go. Okay, so on top of Primordial and on top of Gideon Falls, I recommend Homesick Pilots, and I've stuck by this book since like the beginning. I've collected all of them, and I've actually enjoyed this journey. There's a couple of issues where I'm like, this one's okay, but
I love the colors. Oh my god, the colors are dope.
I really enjoy this book. It's so out there. It's so out there.
This is some shit I would read. Like, oh my god. Oh, I love it. Oh my god, I love it. I'm sorry. I'm like going through the images. They are beautiful. I love the pinks. I love the purples. I love the blues. I love the yellows.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but that's cool.
Very 90s colored scheme with like that right there with the purples and the pinks and the blacks, and then like the very it does have that right there, and it's really I think it's a fun book. It's so
is there
ridiculous.
Robots?
There is a robot in there that's fighting the house. Yes.
I see the robot.
You know what? You're gonna like this one right here. Then you're gonna like it.
Oh my god, this is so cool. I love the artwork. The artwork's already grabbing me. The color scheme, and just the fact that you named all those things that are in this one book. I'm here for it.
Government
but
conspiracy,
also
a haunted walking house. You have the
house walks.
The house walks. The house actually fights the robot.
A house fighting a robot. A
house fights a robot. And then on top of that, like, there's this one main ghost that haunts the house, who's got this cool, in my opinion, is one of the coolest new characters. He's got this crazy horseshoe head design to it, you end up finding out like who he is, and he's a major player.
That guy?
Yes.
It's so funny because I just turned to it and you just said it. I was like, oh my god, is it that guy?
Yep, it's that guy. And then you find out who he is. And where his main play is in the book, and it's pretty important to the story itself. And so Homesick Pilots number 12, yeah, it's fun.
This book looks dope. Like, so because like my work and everything, like I have so much shit going on, I never really have time to read things. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, before this, because I misread your text, I actually binge read Harley Quinn Eat, Bang, Kill tour. Because
a lot of people like that book. A lot of people love that book.
It goes off of the
animated show.
The animated show. Yeah. So I was all like, oh, that's my pick. You're like, no, it's next week. I was like, oh, oops. But no, this, oops. Mama. No, but this actually looks really good. Like I'm loving the colors, the artwork, and just everything you told me. I'm already sold.
Yeah, there's already.
I'm already
I
sold.
want to say there's 2 trades out already for this particular series.
I don't like trades. I like the singles because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is when you just get that first issue and you open it and you get that nice little like smell of like the fresh ink and the paper, and I like this. I like this. I do have trades. I do. And usually the trades go with us, like if we go traveling or something and we want to read something, so we have the trades. Yeah. But this makes us a collector. It's this beautiful, 12-page
stapled piece of art right there. You have your 32 pages of it, and it's right there. It's bite size. You can put it away, and it could be worth something later on if you choose correctly, right?
Yeah, me and Ryan just realized we have 10 boxes of comic books.
That's a lot.
And we still
about like 8.
So, well, the fact is we still need room and more boxes.
Yeah, yep. That's the problem with being a collector right there.
Yeah, well, Ryan doesn't. Ryan loves it, and I love it too. My boxes are in the closet, and then we have one box that we keep out here because it's all the ones that we need to read or catch up on, or the series isn't complete yet.
Yeah.
So that's in one. So that's in one box, and then when the series is complete, we lift and transport.
So I wonder how many collectors actually do that. They have like a box for unfinished series or ongoing series, or I just didn't give a fuck about this series. Because I have books all over the place. I have like 3 long boxes of series that I finished. Like, all right, all those go in here. Then I have like a box, like a short box of like books that I collected like maybe number 1, 2, 3, and stopped. And I was like, I'm not interested in this anymore. And I still kind of keep them because you never know. Someone gets option like down the line, like, hey, guess what I have? Haha, $14.
Or like with me, I have almost a completed series of Gotham City Sirens, but I'm missing 8 issues. And they are the hardest issues to find.
Oh, jeez.
And if you go on Amazon or shit like that, they're like $20 to $45 a piece.
Each, yeah. Sometimes it's worth it. That's what collectors do. You just need it. It's the completionist.
But I have about 75% of the Gotham City Sirens, and that was probably 15 years ago that it ran. Mm-hmm. Like it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have my Batgirl Adventures number 12, first appearance of Harley Quinn, which is graded and hanging up because that is my pride and joy.
Everyone's gonna have one of those, exactly.
Well, I have that, and then we did the Killing Joke. We got the Killing Joke graded.
Nice.
Yeah, the Killing Joke was graded higher than my Harley Quinn, but whatever.
Hey, look, at least you have them. You have them.
Yeah.
They're in the personal collection right
there. No, and there's like certain things, like I have all my Tank Girls, and every time I try to find a Tank Girl, I always try to get it. I do. I mean, even if I get like duplicates, I don't care. I'll get it.
Have a Tank Girl added to the collection. It's part of the PC.
It is. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but my Tank Girl is hanging up right over there. She's right next to Party Baka.
Gotcha.
Our Party Chewbacca. But yeah.
Party Baka,
no.
Got it.
Well, yeah, because he has sunglasses and he has a surfboard. He's Party Baka.
Nice.
I found that. I was like, I need to have this in my life. I don't know why. I just want it.
Okay, just pay whatever the man wants.
Pay him what he wants. I need it.
All right, well, that's it right there, everyone. That's our top 3 new comic book day picks right there for February 16th, 2022. Kristin.
Oh, really? I thought it was September.
Kristin from the Foul Mouth Nerds, thanks so much for joining me. Do me a favor, let everyone know how they can get a hold of you, where they can find you on their social medias.
All right, you guys. I'm Kristin. I'm from the Foul Mouth Nerds. You can find us on Instagram. At this time, we do have episodes that you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other podcast streaming services that you guys have. We do have old episodes, but if you want to catch us on our newer episodes, please check us out on Instagram, Foul Mouth Nerds. Follow us. We always do updates and we do fun things. And also, we're thinking about doing a giveaway of comic books soon. So if you guys are interested, please follow us and just stay tuned to see what we do next.
Love it. I love it. Kristin, thank you so much for being on the show. Thanks to everyone who came by and hung out with us and watched this episode. I got my stepdaughter who's going to come over here. She's going to say goodnight. Come here. Come say goodnight. Hurry. Come here, Mia. Hurry. Come here. Say goodnight. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. And to everyone out there, until the next issue, deuces.
Bye.